Hello, hello, hello! It's today already. It's Wednesday, and what day is it? It's the day that we felt like stabbing. We're gonna have our shot at felting along. Hello, Mia. This is going to make it hard to felt the fox, but we're going to have a go at felting a fox. So if you're in the chat, I'd love you to just stick your hands up and say hello. Let us know if you're going to be felting along or if you're just here for the chat. Wendy's here already. Hi there. I know Wendy's felting along with us. And if you're new or you're catching this on the replay, we're going to be felting along to the Maker's Fox tutorial, which there's links to in the description of this video. Yeah, you can either download the PDF, instantly download the PDF, or you can order the kit with all the materials you need to make this little guy. We have got, I can't say your name, Chomitz. Oh, so sorry, I can't say your name, but hi there. Good to see you. Yeah, so we're just going to get started in a few minutes, give everyone time to join the stream. So I hope you've all had an excellent week so far. Christine's here as well. Hi, good to see you. So just while we're waiting, I found something that I thought you guys would like to see, because I know people talk about they put up their first sculptures or their second sculptures and they say they're terrible and they're thinking of giving up. I found this, and this is my first ever needle felted sculpture that I made of my dog. Not this one, the other. This is Ben. And oh boy, it's so soft and fluffy. I don't know if you guys can see that. So yeah, if you feel you can't do it, then you will get better. Although, actually, I did kind of love him at the time. I learnt so much making my little Ben. That's my first ever sculpture. Hi there, Cricket. Good to see you. We're going to be trying a felting along live today once we've got everyone here. I think we've got a good chunk of people here already, so that is awesome. Excited to do this. This is a brand new one. We're going to be following this kit from the makers, trying to hopefully make this fox. So what I'll do just now, if you want to get your equipment, I'm sure you're all nicely organised. Sorry, me, I'm kind of sitting on you. Cricket's got her priorities. Get coffee. Coffee, content creating and listening. Awesome. Right, so I've got the kit here that the makers sent me. So this is not, if you get their fox kit, you also get the materials to make the badger as well, but I'm just doing the fox today. So if you're looking to join in, we're going to need some fox red fibre, some white, a little bit of black, and 2 black pipe cleaners and a white pipe cleaner. Oh, awesome! Cricket's just had a photo shoot. Sounded great. I look forward to seeing that, but only took 2 hours, a waste of a shower. Right, so that's the equipment you need, and I'm using my trusty. Now, we were talking about these today in the group, in Pam Duthie Felting Friends. Oh no! Choco Mints. Let's call you Choco Mints. Has no sound. Have to lip read. Oh no. We're talking about needles in the group today, and I had to check. I had to actually go out and get the bag that my needles came in, and I'm felting with a 38 twist needle. But yeah, everyone has their favourites, and I know some people felt with they start with a much thicker needle, so that's a smaller number, it'd be a 36 or a 34, and then they finish up with a finer needle, maybe going all the way up to a 40, or I believe you get a 42, but 38, same needle. Daniel, yep, yeah, let's get stabby. Of course I can't say that, so I can't say what you said. And totally, the merch is so late coming. I've got the Pam Duthie Felt Me Up mugs coming, but it didn't come in time. So that's the kit, and here's the tutorial, which I won't be showing you every bit of, obviously, because you want to go to the makers and buy it, but it is an awesome tutorial. It's really step by step. So fingers crossed I can not make too much of a mess of this. Right. So who's actually felting along with us? If you just let us know. And if you're on Facebook as well, I'll try and keep a look, because I know some people can't comment on YouTube. So if you're on Facebook, I'll keep an eye out on Facebook and see what everyone's saying there. But yeah, we're just about to get started. Oh, Wendy, your tablet's slower than your phone. That is really weird. I know there's quite a delay, really, in the stream, because I've never found out how to speed up my stream. Some people it's like immediate. You'll type a comment and I'm able to answer it straight away. But there's a bit of a delay here. But we'll work with it. We'll be fine. Right. So. Oh, Wendy's been waiting at her desk all day. I know. I think you're more excited than me, but this was your idea to do these felt alongs, so it's entirely your fault if it goes terrible. Okay. I've got some measurements to follow first of all. So, oh, Christine's having a go. Awesome. I can't wait to see if I bet everyone else's will look so much better than mine, because I'm like panicking already that I'm going to make a mess of this. So, first thing, we have to cut our pipe cleaners to length. There's a short one for arms, a long one for legs, and the spine. So I'll just check these lengths, and if everyone else wants to cut theirs as well. I won't tell you the lengths, but oh yeah, it's in the kit. The black's already cut for the arms length, back legs. Yep. Awesome. I don't have to cut these are the right length in the kit, so that is great. But if not, you'll have to cut them. So long black, short black, and long white pipe cleaner. Right, so this is a totally different method than how I felt, so I'm excited to see how this works out. So we've got the arm pipe cleaner, the shorter black pipe cleaner, and I'm just going to bend the bottom of the arm over. And this is going to be the paw. But this is really such a cool idea, because whenever I've made foxes, I've spent forever trying to blend it, yeah, it's like pretty much in half. In fact, yes, it's exactly in half. So I always spend the time wrapping in browns and blacks and everything and trying to blend the colours for the legs, but this is so much easier. And Daniel's going to felt along with a shish kebab skewer and some steel wool. And you'll probably make an awesome job. Or cut your hands to ribbons. But either way, it would be fun. Right, so... Nervous? So we're going to take a long, thin piece of the orange wool for the arms. So I'm trying to sort out a decent piece of this. Next stage is easier with it thinner. Okay, I think that should probably be enough. Probably not, we'll find out in a minute. And gonna start from where I've bent it over the ends of the wool. I'm just gonna, ends of the wool, the ends of the pipe cleaner. Oh, I can't speak already. So we're just gonna wind this down. Oh yeah, that's so cute. That's, if we can already see, if my camera will get it, where the black of the pipe cleaner is poking out, that's his little paw, and then we've got his legs. Oh, hang on, the tutorial is hold the wool still and turn the pipe cleaner. I'm actually supposed to be following the directions. And we want to try and get it thinner at the wrist and thicker in the middle. Yeah, that's kind of working. I'm just, where did I put my needle? Gonna give that a wee stab to hold it in place. But simple and kind of cute. that already is the black paws and the leg. And similar for the back legs, we're just going to bend these bits in further. So let me just sort that out. So we bend the back legs in a good deal further. Cool, so that kind of meets in the middle. That sort of works. And then going to leave just a slightly longer bit for his ankle and his paw, and try and get some more wool, and do exactly what we did at the paws at the front legs, but bigger. I hope I've got enough wool here, because I tend to use like way too much wool. Right, so leaving a slightly longer gap here, and still tapering it in the middle and making it fatter at the ends. It's awkward, but it works really well, just holding the wool still and twisting the pipe cleaner. I've never actually done it that way, but it works really well. I'll try and get the same amount of paw at the end. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, I'm going to felt that in place. I make him a little fatter one side than the other, but he's got a fat leg. What can I say? He's not going to be a perfect foxy. Okay, so it's just felting to hold it just now. I'll go over it later. But we should have front legs and back legs with the little paw poking out the end. So that's pretty cool. That works. Like I say, generally I'm trying to wrap really tight, getting black and then blending up browns and stabbing for hours to get a graduation, but that's actually really quite cute and very simple. Right, so far so good. Let's see if we can get the rest of this to work. Head and neck. So taking the strong white pipe cleaner, and I want to fold about what's that, roughly, well, just roughly leaving a tiny bit more at one side, so not quite in half. We've got it folded over. So far so good. And we're gonna, this is the head, so we're gonna start twisting down. And all I'm doing here is I'm quickly nipping in. Oh, Wendy, am I going too fast? I was like, in fact, okay, we'll wait for a minute while everyone to catch up, because I know you guys have to type as well as felt. So I'll just smooth this out. I'll felt this a wee bit. Sorry, slow down, guys. How's everyone getting on? Have we nearly got there with the legs? See, I want to ask you all questions, but then that stops you from felting as well. But just like, I just want to know the level that all of you are at. Beginners, have you made projects before? What have you done as projects? Is this like a first one or anything like that? Because I think this is a really pretty cool project for beginners. It looks really awesomely detailed. Because honestly, when I started with felting, the instructions I had were like, make a head for a dog, join it to the body, colour it in, there you go. Which, yeah, wasn't greatly helpful. Dan, for the bleeding, I would say if you mix it in with the steel wool a little bit, then that will probably react with the steel wool and you'll get a lovely rust colour. So I wouldn't stress too much about the bleeding. And don't even joke, I'm probably going to be bleeding myself by the end of this, trying to chat along and stab, and probably freak people out with my danger felting some more. I would totally love to see a steel wool fox. I've got a bad feeling that I might actually try that at some stage, and I would probably end up with bleeding everywhere. But that would look so cool. Right. Pro tip. If you guys haven't seen, do you watch on YouTube? There's Thread Banger. They are awesome. Oh, Alex, didn't think I'd keep up, but wish I'd joined in. Alex, dive in, join in. We'll wait. No, take our time. There's no rush for this, and also you can still always rewind, even though it's live. You can go back and look at bits and then catch up. Wendy's bent a needle already. Oh no! I hope you've got spares. I can't send you a spare. Actually, I got paranoid after us talking about needles before, and for the first time, I've actually got my spare needles at the side just in case, because I have a horrible feeling I've not broke a needle in like a year. Touch wood, but I just know I'm going to do it tonight. But Alex, go and get your stuff. This is a nice, fun, easy one, and yeah, I'm felting away to give Wendy and everyone time to catch up because I don't want to go too quick. I'm hoping at the end of this we'll all have something and we can share it on the Facebook page. I mean, Dan's gonna have like blood loss and an ambulance called, but the rest of us will hopefully have some kind of critter. Yeah, my danger felting. I do stab myself quite often, but I keep the swearing down to a minimum. And Rosanne's here. Hi there. Bring out the band-aids. So right. I suppose it is a bit of a danger if you're felting along with me and I'm going a bit too fast. So I'm trying to drop it down, slow it down a bit so I don't kill you all off, so you can all get a chance to catch up. Because yeah, it's just something, it's practice that because I sit and I watch the telly. Oh, Christine's broken the first needle. Oh no. Oh. And Alex is watching tonight, giving them an enthusiasm. Oh, that's awesome. Well, it's also a good thing. Sometimes if you watch and you get an idea and then you can try it knowing what's going wrong. Because I try, if anyone watches Serafina, her videos are awesome, but I try and stab along with her and that does not work. I'm forever, you're like, slow down, what are you, crazy woman? I mean, she does like 3 stabs and the piece is finished, whereas I've got to sit for like 20 minutes stabbing. Yeah, I was talking about Threadbanger. I lose my track so easily. But they do kind of craft projects. They're not exactly the most serious. They're hilarious. I love them. But one of the times they did needle felting. And actually after that they got into trouble and have to put blood warnings at the start of all their videos. But that was the first one, I think, that they had a lot of blood, and he was trying to make this Easter bunny, and he actually did a really good job for mainly messing about. He did really good, but kept stabbing himself, and then it's like, put a little blush on for the cheeks, and you just see him going like and just used his own blood to get the blush. But probably best not to do that if you're making something for a customer. Yeah, Serafina is so fast, and I think she must have some magic fibers and some ridiculous needles or something, because it doesn't look like her hands are moving that fast. Or editing. There's also the magic of editing, I suppose. But yeah, it just seems crazy. Because her sculptures are really quite big for me. I like making them pretty small. So I kind of do half size of what she's doing, and even then I can't keep up with her. Right, anyway. We're caught up. We're onto the head and body. So we've folded over the white wire, so there's a little bit extra. I mean, what's that? It's about 1.5 inches or so poking out the bottom. And I'm gonna wrap the first part for the head. What does that want? It wants it twisted down. I don't know. A little bit further. Yeah. So twist the top section down almost as much as sort of the amount you've got left out of the end. Wendy, you've heard her fibre is amazing and fast. I can totally believe that. I will sometime pay to ship some of her stuff across. No coffee tonight. The sun's come out, and it couldn't have been timed better because I finally got a new fridge. It's up and running. I keep going into the kitchen now to just open the door and go, I have chilled food. I'm not going to die of food poisoning. Well, if I am, it's entirely my own fault. Right, so we've got this. Now this is the bit that's totally new for me. Taking the front legs, it doesn't say to do this, but I'm going to do this because I'll get it wrong if I don't. I'm just folding it so I can find out where the middle is. We're going to shove the legs up into this little bit nice and tight. And so you've got the head and then the arms, and I'm just going to twist the pipe cleaner underneath. And there, the front legs are joined. Alright, this is the bit I'm so nervous. If I wind too tightly, then I'm going to run out of pipe cleaner. I know, Rosanny, I never thought I would get excited about kitchen appliances, but not having a fridge for 3 weeks in the height of summer, it's no fun. Okay, so spine pipe cleaners get wound down a little bit more. So to about there. So we've got head and body, arms which don't look even, although I folded in half, they don't look even. That's typical for me. So head and neck, arms, and then body, and we're going to shove the legs in here. So doing that again, I'm folding it in half because I'm rubbish at measurements. And undignified pose, popping that in there and twisting it nice and tight. Okay, it's a yoga fox so far. That's awesome. Doing bizarre yoga. Right, let's straighten that out. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mr. Fox. Okay, so hopefully we've all got this kind of stage. It's looking foxy already. I think black and then red is enough to make something foxy. Well, looking foxy or like a kebab. Yeah, I probably shouldn't say that. Right. And then we're going to take the shorter piece of the pipe cleaner and just pop it back up towards the body to get it out of the way. And the longer part's the tail. So we're to just bend him. So leave a little bit for hips and bend the legs up and bend the arms up. And curve the leg down. Bend a hook. And a foot. So I'll give you a wee minute to show you what I've done there. Rosanny likes the yoga fox. Yeah, we should definitely make yoga foxes. But I think that is so awesome already. Like, that is such a simple way to do it that it's already kind of looking a little bit foxy. Hi Mariana, how are you doing? Right, what I'm going to do, It's not too jaggy at the end, but I'm just going to fold over the very end of the tail because I don't like the jaggy, the bit of wire sticking out there. But that's where we're at so far. Just going to check if he's supposed to be able to stand up already using the tail. How do I never get legs that are the same length? It doesn't matter how much I do. Oh, and got to fold his head over. Okay, can he stand? Marina, I am really well, thank you. Nervous that I'm going to make a mess of this. Oh, he's fallen over already. Right. So he's got to be able to stand up. And yeah, I've messed up these legs somehow, that they're not quite even, but we'll hide that. Wendy's back legs are super long. Maybe you didn't fold the black. Well, maybe it's a feature. He's supposed to have super long legs. Oh, Rosani, this so far this is just bending wire. You can totally do this. You'll nail this. So that's where he is just now. He can sort of stand up. Well, he's happier like that, but yeah, he can sort of stand up. So far, not so horrific. I'm happy. We should just finish now before I totally make a mess. Yeah, Wendy, if the back legs are too long, did you fold the wire like practically right back into the middle? That was how it kind of worked out. Cricket's still here listening. Awesome. Right. Okay, so we've got to use a bit of the orange to stabilize the arms and legs. So I'm just gonna, whoops, pull off a couple of bits. Wendy's gonna go with a long leg. I'm looking forward to seeing this long-legged fox. This sounds so much fun. Right, so taking out a bit of wool and wrap it around the hips and the tail in a crisscross fashion. So starting up at the top, this is going to be hard to actually show. I don't know if you guys can see. Oh, you missed the bend bit, but Wendy, you'll be fine, Wendy. The super long leg sounds fun, and yay, it stands up, which is actually actually cool. So right, Chocomins, what's your actual name? And I'll stop calling you that. But yours stands up, so awesome. So a little crisscross of the wool under his pelvis, and I'm just going to felt that in place. Yeah, Wendy, we've got faith in you. But it's not too late. If it really is too long and you don't like it, you could tease off, remove the wool at the long bits, felt some leg back, fold the leg back, and then put a bit more wool on, and it will still be fine. You never go wrong in needle felting because you can come back and fix bits. I'm nervous about getting the heads right. I don't know why. I do like dogs' heads every day of the week, but I'm nervous that I'll mess this up today. Right, we have a tiny fox bum. How long were the pipe cleaners to start with? I think they were roughly about 30 centimetres. I don't know what that is in inches. Does anyone know old money? In fact, I can ask Google, can I? 30 centimetre in inches is 11.8 inches. Yeah, so about 12. Yeah, about 12 inches. That's probably a standard pipe cleanery size. Wendy will mess it up together. Exactly. That's why you guys are keeping me company, so we can all mess it up. When I was doing the dog last night, when I was doing the dog the other week, and it was just me, I was like, I can totally mess it up. But now you're all with me, so you all know my struggles. But yeah, that kind of crisscross. It looks like he's wearing a nappy just now, but it's Christine's cat's trying to get all the wool. Yeah, that is definitely a problem with felting. My dogs used to be obsessed with the wool, but thankfully they're bored of it now. Oh, and we've got to do the same thing with the shoulders. So a bit of wool, just teasing it out to make it longer and thinner so it gets more wraps. And just starting at one side of the shoulder, going under the armpits, up over the shoulder and down under the other armpits. Just doing a crisscross like that, and that secures the legs to the body. And felting this in place. Oh, Wendy's got first blood! Oh, I hope you're okay. See, needle felting's supposed to be such a calm, wonderful craft, but in reality it's dangerous. So with broken needles, we've got blood already. I hope you're okay. I hope it's just a wee stab and not a proper sore one. Right, so I'm just going to spend a wee minute to get this all secured and felted up, and let you guys clean up, stick plasters on and catch up where you're up to. But so far, I have to say, directions are pretty good. Compared to how I make things, which is just wing it, add a bit of this and hope for the best, this has actually been pretty cool of wind this a little bit, fold that a bit more. So it's pretty cool. Wendy, every needle felter stabs themselves like all the time. It's not about careless. I've seen some pretty crazy injuries, and so the people who use the stabbing mat and are more careful than me tend to get worse injuries than me. So I don't want to like speak too soon and end up like managing to cut my own hand off with a tiny needle. That's very likely, but it seems to be that my stabs aren't so bad. I rarely even bleed badly on a piece. Yay, Foxy Felton song! That would be so awesome. Yeah, did everyone see Dan's video at the weekend? Very awesome, and he's started his own channel where he's talking about how he did that collaboration with Brian, and it's really interesting for anything you're doing because it's cool to work with people, but how to collaborate with people without bugging them. You know, like you don't go and see people who are like massively famous and expect them to do stuff for you for nothing. So Dan's wee story there is pretty awesome of how he pulled all that together. Badly, like you've stabbed yourself badly, Wendy. Please say that's not the case. I don't need injuries. We don't need our first hospitalization in a craft video. That would be terrible. Probably also make us go viral. So yeah, no, no, I don't want you to hurt yourself. Hope you're okay. Right, I think. Okay, guys, is everyone kind of up to this stage? Do they have a really bizarre looking fox kebab? But it looks foxy. I'm gonna say so far I'm happy that no, Wendy's not there yet. Okay. I'll hold back. I'll stab slowly. This is because I'm so nervous about getting to the head bit. I'm rushing through everything and leaving you guys behind. So we'll wait. We'll see how everyone's doing. I'll check that there's no one else chatting on Facebook. Oh, but that badly, right? Saying I don't bleed too badly. I think after a while, your fingertips just develop the calluses that you don't bleed too bad. I had to take up a dangerous hobby, didn't I? You could do skydiving or whitewater rafting, but I make tiny sculptures of tiny sculptures of animals. Marina just got here, so you haven't got the PDF. It's about £3, £3.50. Yep. Yep. Rosannie, fox kebab too cruel. Yeah, Mariana, sorry, it's in pounds. It is about £3.50. And it should be a pretty instant download, hopefully. But yeah, we're only at this stage. It actually it's coming together really pretty fast. Although Wendy's is going to be super special looking. Right, Wendy, I totally can't wait to see your fox when we're done. Alex is past the roadkill flattened stage. Marina, I don't know how much that would be in US. It's probably, I don't know what the exchange rate is. It's probably about $5. The link should be in the description, and hopefully that'll say in. It will convert it. I don't know why. I'm not affiliated with the makers or anything. I just asked them if I could use their PDF, and they were wonderful and sent me materials and stuff. But I don't work for them or anything. I think hopefully they're listening around, but I don't know if they can comment on the chat. But yeah, I think it's about $5. But yeah, just that the roadkill flattened stage is all your felt sculptures go through ugly phases. So many people will post up pictures, they'll go, "Oh, I'm quitting, my dog looks terrible," and you're just like, no, you really just need to stab for another couple of hours. It's fine. That looks right. And actually, I think this is looking the least ugly out of how most of mine usually end up being. I might start making some of my dogs like this because I quite like that. Yeah, Rosannie, absolutely. That's the most important part. When we're done with this, everyone's got to post their pictures so we can see it. Hopefully, if you're on, most of you are on Facebook, just take like a wee snap on your phone, post it up to the Ben McFuzzyLugs page or the Pam Duthie's Felting page, and if you agree to it, and then I'll show them all at the end of the video, which I think would be super cool. Right, okay, we're hopefully all at this, roughly at this stage, apart from Wendy is making a caricature comedy fox with legs. I'm so looking forward to seeing that. Right, we're on to page 2. Oh no, the page 2 is the filling out the shape, build up bulk. Right, so now this is the trickier bit. This is the let's make the rest of him look like a fox bit. It's the head that I'm worried about. I don't know why, I just am. I'm probably making this excuse already so that if it turns out awful, then you know I've already warned you. So what I'm doing, I'm getting a fair bit of fibre, tapering it at the very end so that his nose can be a little bit pointy. And remember, if their legs get in the way, fold the legs out of the way, because that's the good thing about having a wire. So Rosannie, have you got your felting kit yet? Is your needles turned up? I know you were talking about it. Because I bet you're going to be awesome, because you're already doing sculptures in your wonderful paper mache sculptures. Deborah, last week I made a sheep and a friend on Facebook said I'd made a cute puppy. Oh no. Yeah, I made a rabbit once that I was super proud of, and someone asked me if I'd made a chihuahua. How badly can you mess up a rabbit if someone thinks it's a dog? Chipmunk and the same friend thought it was a cute squirrel. No, I don't think that's your problem. I think it's their problem. And chipmunk and a squirrel are kind of similar, so I wouldn't take that as too much of an insult. But yeah, they do go through ugly phases. Right, so I've got a pointy nose and I'm coming down the chest. I'm just doing another crisscross there and wrapping the body. Oh, Rosanne's still waiting on her felting kit. That's a pain. Okay, I think he's going to need a bit more in the tummy. I'm probably wrapping this a little tight. I think this is quite a soft one, but the tighter you wrap it, then the less stabbing you have to do. Just getting another wee strip. So I want to make his middle a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's kind of good. Bringing it over his bum. And okay, I want his tail sort of thin at the bottom and then thickening out and then thinning in again. Oh, I'm really good at this explaining stuff, am I? We all evolve with practice while honing our skills. That is so true. I mean, hopefully we all get better and there's not too much blood in the trying. Right, I'm going to leave a little bit more in the middle. And I'm just going to kind of loosely felt his tail, so his tail's kind of fuzzy. Don't know, the tail looks funny. I want to put a little bit more just at the end here. So have you all wrapped the body? Yeah, I'm going to finish off the head in a second. I just want to get this kind of a little bit smoother. This is really nice fleece, by the way. It's felting up ever so quickly compared to what I usually use. And I've ordered some more fleece off them because if you remember, Jima Lolly, when we were looking at the dragons, ordered her dragon from me. So sneak peek, guys, I've been working on this. This is from her children's book she's got going. Her little dragon, dinosaur dragon. And he's always got his little bunny. So I've been working on that. But it's a beautiful green colour and I didn't quite have a colour I liked, so I've ordered some of that. So I'm going to wait for that. Rosanne, for me, small pieces, most definitely. I've always worked much smaller. I get bored making things that are too big, but even when I was a kid and like we're working in clay, I would make the most tiny pieces. I like doing the little details and stuff. When they're big, no, it just doesn't work for me. What kind of sizes are your paper mache pieces? They are absolutely awesome. If you guys haven't checked them out, she's got a YouTube channel herself. So if you want to have a nosy at that, it's looking really good. All right, okay, he's starting to get a bit smoother, so I'm going to add some more fibre to the top of his head. I'm just kind of rolling a wee sausage and let's try and felt into a camera. So popping the sausage on top of his head to be the top of his head. And I think his nose is too pointy. He looks a bit like a weasel or something bizarre. So I'm just going to add a little bit more. In fact, I'm going to take a thin strip. I can find the grain here because his neck's a bit skinny too. Take a thin strip Right, I was going to do what I do when I'm felting by myself is I just throw my needle in my mouth and do that. But it doesn't make for very good videos if I'm talking with a needle in my mouth. So just going to wrap a little bit more around his nose and then over his head to attach this piece and kind of smooth it out. Oh, this is the stage where he looks terrible. Right, now to felt that. And thank you, Rosannie. I'm I'm hoping it's going to come along. It's really interesting. I've never really made something based on a cartoon drawing from somebody else, so I hope that works out. You prefer small to medium as well, yeah. Yeah, I think all the intricate details where the fun is. Although I've seen people needle felting, there's a video doing the rounds on Facebook that's someone who's made a life-size chimp, and it's just amazing. It's ridiculously good, but that's that's not me. These little ones take long enough. I go up to probably, how big's that? About a foot or so is about the biggest I go, but they're the real big sizes. I prefer much smaller. I mean, that's my general standard. That's the size that I do the most of is my small size. It's about 3 to 4 inches, which is where also I'm totally happy with this kit because it's just in the sizes that I like as well. I always worry some kits you see and they're making these giant things that will take forever to make, which I suppose is nice a project, especially if you're a beginner, that it takes a while, but then you sort of learn a lot. But I prefer to get things over and done with and get on to the next thing. Taking a bit of time to get his nose firmer. And what stage is everyone else at? If you can just give me a yell, let me know where you're at so I know whether to slow down or speed up. This is so weird because, like, if we were actually felting together, I could see what yous were doing, but I've got to ask you here. But it's cool. It's kind of fun. I've never done anything like this before. And we have to thank Wendy. It was Wendy's idea for doing a felt along, so awesome idea. And I'm really enjoying it as something completely different and getting a chance to freak everyone out with felting in the air. Oh, Rosanne, so true. Easier shipping when smaller. Yeah, I've got some great little boxes and they're absolutely fine. But when I get a super large, um, when I have a super large sculpture, most of the time, thankfully I don't get them too often. I do keep the prices fairly high because it's also sort of exponential the amount of work. From this size to double the size of it takes about 4 times as much stabbing, and then bigger again takes even more, so it's taking so much more. So I don't sell too many of them. So in general, what happens is I've managed to have just bought a pair of shoes. So I keep the shoe boxes and I ship them in shoe boxes, which I know some people think they don't like you reusing boxes and stuff, but the shoe boxes are stronger. Any of the shipping boxes I buy, the little ones are strong enough, but the big boxes I really worry about if they're going to make it in one piece through the mail. So a nice shoe box. So that's my excuses to buy shoes, is I need the shipping boxes. Honestly. And Rosanne, exactly. It is a great idea, and hopefully you'll have your stuff and you'll be able to join in for the next one. We'll have to think of something nice and cute, but well, I was going to say easy, but you've been sculpting in the paper mache, so it's a similar kind of thing if you're used to sculpting shapes. Wendy, I'm sure it's not ridiculously horrid, but what did I just say about them going through a phase where they're looking terrible? I'm sure yours. Oh, I think you have just put up a picture of an. Right, Wendy, can I share this picture? Because I don't think it looks ridiculously horrid. I think it's looking fine. I think it's looking really cute, actually. So if you don't mind, let me know and I'll share it if that's okay. So it is fun. I think quite a lot of the time needle felting is quite solitary because there's not that many people that know about it. I know down in England and certain places there are little groups that do it, but I've spoken to some of the craft stores here and stuff, and none of them are interested in having like a tutorial or, you know, having a group do it, because that would be really cool. Right, you ready? Okay, so we're ready. This is Wendy's. I don't think it's looking ridiculously horrible. Right, if I can get the right button. So if we can all see this, I think that's looking fine. His legs are going to be long, but no, I don't think they're like madly out of proportion because the arms look quite long as well. So I think he's just going to be really cute and leggy. I think that's awesome. I think you're doing fine. Right. Rosanni, exactly. I don't think he's that bad. And I see Wendy's got herself a stab it wabbit. Nice posh kit. I've thought about making a kind of Hessian bag thing, but never got round to it. And I wouldn't. I think yeah, I'll have an avalanche of stuff if I grab it. But I. Oh, you did shrink the legs. Yeah, so you're doing fine. My very first needle felting cushion bit of foam that I got when I started felting, which is probably almost exactly 10 years ago. It's my feltiversary. Feltiversary. There we go. I still have my very first felting cushion. But yeah, Wendy, you're doing absolutely fine. So I'm just working on his head. I'm trying to get it quite pointed and foxy and trying to keep boldness on top. Rosanni, yes, the armature is, this is, like I say, it's a different way from how I do my armatures, but it's coming out really, really good. It's working pretty cool, given a nice size, and I really might start considering doing it this way, because it's actually pretty easy and works out nicely. I'm just going to get decent pipe cleaners. I think if you guys didn't see my videos I've had on reviewing pipe cleaners, because they're either weak and long or short and strong. Deborah made her own stab it. Ah, cool. Yeah, the smaller stab it's a great idea. I've seen Serafina with that, and you can like put it in between, like under the legs and everything, and that sounds great. Cricket's off. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you, and sub to Rosanni. Excellent. That would be so cool if you guys did. You could do a wee collab together. That would be so cool. But yeah, awesome. Wendy, I'm with you. I think the makers are onto something here with this armature. It really works good. Oh, Mariana, you've been away at work. Oh, well, good to have you back. I think he's coming along. He looks foxy, as does Wendy's. If anyone else wants to share theirs, feel free to stick them up in the at Pat has. Oh, awesome, right? Let's see if I can find the right button. We've just got Pat's here, which I think is looking awesome. So Pat's at about the same stage as me, apart from I've dropped my fox on the ground. He's looking good. The head's looking great. You've got that done. So yeah, Pat's doing great. Will you be able to see this later? Absolutely. The live will be on replay. It usually takes about half an hour or something for YouTube to get it uploaded properly working, but the replay will be up probably by the time you get home. But yeah, you'll be able to see it. You can You can felt along if you need later. It's always going to be there. Right, I think most of us are kind of at this stage, so it's kind of looking foxy. Have I gone too big with his head? I'm terrible at getting heads right. I always make them far too big, but I think that's okay. That'll do. Right, and then we're getting on to ears. Am I into ears? Yes, word is. So 2 wisps of wool, and this is the point where sensible people will use a mat, but I'm not going to. So 2 little pinches, trying to get them about the same size. Again, I make ears far too big, so I'm trying not to do that. Right. Yeah, so make them into a triangle shape. I don't know how much of this you guys can see, but if you're doing it on a felting surface, put it down flat, just felt a triangle shape. But I find it so much easier to do ears between my fingers, so I also, this is the time when I stab myself the most as well though. So just trying to make, I think they're slightly rounded at the top, so I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm just gonna make it a little rounded at the top instead of totally pointy V. Oops. Wow, it's getting roasting in the house. I can't leave the windows open just now because there's a park outside and there's kids playing and dogs barking and everything. I didn't want my dogs to be kicking off and me to have to be telling the dogs off when we're supposed to be felting. But they're all nice and tired because we had a nice long walk down by the loch today, so they've had a swim, played with some of their friends. So I thought I'd get all that done so they were tired and hopefully would give us peace to felt together. And Rosanna, yeah, that does sound fun with you and Cricket, because Cricket has a channel. Cricket's awesome, and Rosanna, absolutely. I could felt some more to reduce the head. I'm just waiting to see what it looks like. Basically, like you say, sometimes the ears balance it out. Mainly, it's just another one of those things. They look terrible until they're done. So I'm just going to leave it how it is and then felt where I need to. And I hope everyone else has been sensible with the ears and we've got no more blood. Right, I'm just going to make these fairly loose, because you really don't need to see me sitting felting ears forever. Make the second one. Oh, hold on, I'm not right, yeah. Here it is, I'm racing to, so you're not sitting watching me, and then I'm realising that you guys have to keep up with me. So, no, I'll take my time and make nice ears. So Rosanna, you should be making us a paper mache fox while we're doing this. I think that would look awesome, especially in your style. That would be so cool. And I tell you just now, if it was in my house, it would dry out in seconds. It is roasting. I'm hoping I'm not starting a wee glow here, starting a little sheen sheen of sweating. That would be charming, but it is roasting here. And apart from foxes, what's everyone else working on? As I said, I'm doing the dinosaur dragon. I think he's a dragon. I think he's a dragon, but I'm doing the dinosaur dragon. I've also just finished. I've got 3 wee dogs I've got to photograph, and then I've got the local pet shop round the corner, the woman there, she just lost her dog, a very beautiful Rottweiler. So I've going to make a little Rottweiler sculpture for her, and then onto the videos, because I really want to get on with making the steam pup. I think I'm going to do a Sally doll first, so Jack's not totally on his own, but I want to do some of the experiments with the polymer clay. So tomorrow, if it's not too hot to put the oven on, I might have a little go at seeing if we can bake a sculpture with the polymer clay added to the fibre. Also experiment with gluing it onto the fibre and just, you know, see how all that works out. Rosani, absolutely, the fibre, it's so cool that you're adjusting the shape by the direction of your needle right down until it's fairly solidly felted. You can still adjust the shape, and even then, if it's solidly felted and you don't like the shape, just have at it with scissors and you'll be fine. Just cut away, you can add more. It's really so versatile. It's quite a great medium and totally different than anything I've worked with before, so it's cool. Ah, you've made a fox mask but not a small sculpture. I'm trying to think. I think I've seen a fox paper mache sculpture like once before, but it's not dead common. Marina's trying to make a Jack, although you want it to be a girl, can't get it to smooth. Yeah, especially on the really skinny legs, it takes a bit of practice to get it nice and smooth and not too bulky. One of the tricks is with, if you imagine like with the leg here, rather than felting into it, if you felt up along the leg, if you can see what I'm doing there, that can kind of help smooth it out a bit. And then if there's any dents that just don't want to smooth out, then you just add a tiny bit of fleece to it. I'm juggling my needles now. Oh, Wendy, you've been uninspired since your sister died. I'm so sorry to hear that. And you taught your way through the dragon. Your dragon was awesome, by the way, and glad that we're helping you get back inspired. I think that's we've spoke about community, but community is the most important thing. Like, you guys inspired me. A couple of weeks ago, I was not feeling particularly inspired, and I asked you guys, what should I do? And Rosannie came up with a boo review thing, and Wendy said, what about the felt along with me? And I think as well, Wendy had shared some videos of some other needle felters that make videos, and it was just so awesome. And I just thought, yeah, I can totally up my game here. I can make my videos better. We can do better. We can have, you know, better ideas rather than going, oh, I've got to rush out. Excuse me. Rather than going, oh, I've got to rush out like 2 or 3 videos a week. Just slow down and make a better video. Have more fun with you guys. Oh, Marina, no problem. I hope it helps, because honestly, getting smooth legs, it is tricky. You guys will have to yell when you put up a picture, because I'm here. I've got Facebook up, and I'm trying not to just be sitting looking at Facebook. Right, how are we getting on with our ears, ladies? I say ladies because I doubt that Dan's making wire wool ears. Although I could just see he's the kind of person, just to spite us, who'll be sitting out in the shed like welding a fox or something, which would be awesome. So yeah, just to spite me, make a fox in something completely different. Marina, I've been felting for 10 years now. Just, yeah, it's my feltiversary, and mine are not perfect all the time. I make mistakes, I pull bits off, I redo them. You know, it just takes practice. And with the jack legs, I think, because I put box sets on the telly, and I sat, and probably about 3 hours I was sitting felting those legs. So yeah, it takes a bit of practice, so don't expect perfection. Your 23-year-old son wants you to make the jack one. Let your 23-year-old son make the jack one. So give him the needles and everything and see how he gets on. Cross-continental community. I know, it's awesome though. This is like a really weird time in the world that we can talk to anyone, we can kind of do anything, learn anything. It's so cool. Deborah, no problem. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, it'd be awesome if you can join in. And yeah, any ideas for anything that anyone wants to do for the next felt along? Because I want to, obviously it's got to be something that we can make that's not like, I mean, I would love to felt along a dragon, but I don't think anyone wants to sit with me for like 6 hours while we attempt that. I think the dogs would get pretty annoyed, and I'm pretty sure that I would mess it up. So I think possibly not something like a dragon. I do love dragons though. But you know, if anyone's seen any tutorials, if anyone has any tutorials that they'd be happy for me to work with, then just let me know. I think it'll be a couple of weeks at least before we do a felt along. I don't want to do them all the time because then that's boring, and also I really want to make this steam pup, and that's going to be that's a video project that I need time to video. I'm so looking forward to it though. Dan, show us your ears. Absolutely. Right, and yeah, speaking of ears, mine are not symmetrical at all. I'm just gonna pop back onto this other one and make it a little bit straighter. Oh, Marina, you want us to teach an opossum, a felted opossum, as you're helping opossums that lost their mum. Oh, that's lovely. I'll have to. That's not something we have over here, so I'll have to look into them and see what they're like. But yeah, that sounds cool. Gnome head or ornament for Christmas. Yeah, I haven't done many gnome type things. Not many people. I'm not great at figures, but I'll practice. There's a few. I think Serafina and Felt Alive have both got really good gnome tutorials. So I want to do something that's different from them. Unless I don't know if that would see other people. I don't know if we did that if it would be like looked on bad as a kind of copyright thing, but in my head I was almost going like, we could all felt along to a Serafina video, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that would work. Oh, your son, you do want to make it for your son, Marina. Well, I'm sure you'll manage. Like, just take some time, like just practice wrapping some legs for a little bit, because honestly the only thing that is tricky about the jack is getting the torso, getting the body done nice and smooth. So just make a few wire frames and practice wrapping them, and you'll get the hang of it. Right. The ears are good enough. That'll kind of work. Right, what's the next step? Yeah, we've made a V shape and keeping some loose fibres at the bottom to attach to the head. Put a little bit of white at the front and a little bit of black at the back. Right, so what I do when I'm going to add, we want a little bit of V on the inside of the ears. What I do for that because if you just felt in, if you just put that on your stabbing surface and felted white, then it's going to go all the way through. So I make little tiny triangles in white and then gently put them on. So it doesn't really say how to do this, so this is just how I would do this, is just to make an absolutely tiny white triangle. It doesn't have to be madly well felted, but just a little bit felted. Marina, are you on trying to think, any of the other social media? Do you have like an Instagram or a Pinterest or anything that you could send pictures on? Or I believe through YouTube you can get an email to send pictures if you wanted to do it that way, because I would love to see your work. Alex, the makers do a good. They do indeed, yeah. I'd totally forgotten. Yes, the makers do a gnome kit. I keep when I'm reading, I feel like I'm like in beginner school and nearly saying gnome. But yes, the makers have a gnome kit. I was just looking at that the other day and then it slipped my mind there just now. So yes, absolutely they do. So maybe nearer Christmas, if they feel that we have done them proud with this felt along, they might let us do another. They might not let us do another one of theirs, but I think I should leave them alone for a little bit. But yeah, no, their gnome kit would be fun. They do look awesome. That would be cool round about Christmas. Well, coming up to Christmas, and I do fancy the idea if I can get characters and things. But I love the old sort of the traditional Santas, not in the red, but like in the pale blues and everything, a sort of wintry St. Nicholas. I kind of fancy learning to do that, so I might work on some figures. I might work on figuring out some faces and then see if we can do something. Right, so if you've got some loose white triangles and you take it to your ear and pop it over your ear, but then don't felt down the way, felt along, so you're barely catching the fibre, so that you're not taking the white through the orange, if that makes sense to everybody. That's how I do it. If you have your own way of putting the white on in the ears, then also do that. But it's just if you go too far through, then you're going to have loads of white bits poking through. I still have a few white bits. Wendy loves the Santas too. Yeah, we're going to have to, I'm going to have to figure out how to do it. I'm thinking could do like the gown, robe, coat, clothes. There's the word. We could do the clothes like with pre-felt. So if I could figure out some kind of a pattern to make the clothes. See, brain's going now. So if I do the grown-up thing and not just wing it, but try and make a tutorial for you all, then we can share the tutorial, and then I'd have a pattern to cut out of the pre-felt. There's a good idea, but this is going to take a bit of work. But that could be a coming around to Christmas one. That would be pretty cool. So I'm going to have to learn how to felt faces now, haven't I? Well, Santa's kind of similar to the gnome, isn't it? Because it's a big beard, and well, we know how to make the curls for the beard, so that's good. So we can curl beard in advance. Hat and the coat is out of pre-felt. So yeah, I think actually a Santa would be possible in a time limit. I'm saying in a time limit. I was going to say in about an hour, but we've already taken more than an hour already. But I didn't have a time limit for us. And Rosanne loves old world Santas too. That's cool. Everyone likes the same daftness as me. That makes it so much easier. Right. So hopefully we've got a little bit of white on each of the ears. So, and it also says a little bit on the back. Why am I pointing at my own ears? That's not even my own ears. That's the top of my head. My ears are there. But a little bit onto the top at the back of this triangle. I've got this black here. Oh, the black's got some white in it. So just, trying to get Let's not go all tangled up in white too much. Just a tiny pinch of the black. Well, 2 tiny pinches because we've got 2 ears. I think the ears take the longest out of anything to do. So I'm just taking this at the back and sort of over the V and just going to pop the black on. Careful not to get the black coming into the front too much, but just trying to blend it down the back a little bit. At Rosani, exactly. The faces are your forte, so I'll have to nosy about and get some ideas for you. But yeah, with a Santa, it's big cheeks, a big nose, a lot of hair. That's probably enough, really, isn't it? But I think in the time, sort of eyes and eyelids and everything might be. We'll see. Well, I'm sure we'll all be better felters by that stage as well. But yeah, I'm seeing a Santa. And it has to have big rosy cheeks. That's the law, apparently. It's against the law if he doesn't have rosy cheeks. Right, just putting a bit of black on the second ear. So has everybody got ears already? Me talking nonsense and babbling, has that got us all caught up and we've got ears, hopefully. Well, I think Pat was getting on pretty well, so hopefully should have. Wendy's done her surgery and her fox's legs are the right length. Right, so if we've got the ears, where's I put my fox? I thought I'd lost him for a minute. So we're going to stick the ears onto the fox, just fairly right back on the head, and just felting them in with that loose fibre. Wendy has her ears. Dan has ears. Yeah, well, did you admit we were asking to see your ears a little while ago, Daniel? We're wanting, hopefully, that you've welded some steel wool into some wonderful ears because you're so talented. Rosanna, yeah, Santa depends on humorous or not. I know. I like the classic traditional kind of Santa, but at the same time, I know whenever I'm felting that cartoon just comes out. I would like to get realistic. I would like to get classy, but screaming crazy cartoon tends to be what happens. So the ear bit is the fiddly bit, trying to fit ears on, and also because I didn't felt the head quite as firm. Oh, Daniel, your actual job got in the. Could you not tell them? No, I'm sorry. I'm felting with steel wool. I have to make a fox. It is urgent, and I'm sure your real world job would completely understand that. But how can you have a real world job as well? You're a rock star, now a vlogger, a eater of ridiculously hot food. How can you have a real world job as well? Right, second ear, hopefully on. I've got quite a lot of fuzzies now. Marina, your job is getting in the way of your felting, but that's why you can felt. That's very true. If it gives you the time and money to be able to, well, if it gives you the money to be able to felt, and not, unfortunately, not the time. But yes, we need the day job. Daniel, you're self-employed, aren't you? His boss is a jerk. Yep, we all agree with that. Yeah, you in the company. How did I guess that was the case? Oh yeah, we're all agreeing with you. We know your boss is a jerk. I think my fox is looking a little bit like a kangaroo just now. Can you all see that? Right, make the fox look more foxy. I told you all that I was worried about the face the most, and yeah, I've got to. Okay, so today we're making a fox red kangaroo. hopefully everyone else is managing to get the ears on without too much damage to themselves and deforming the head. It's so much easier to get the ears on if I'd have made the head more firmly felted, but there's only so much I can expect you to sit and watch me randomly stabbing bits of wool. Right, let's get you looking foxy. Still looking kangaroo-y. But I think we've still got some shading to add, which will make a big difference, I hope. Because this will be such an embarrassment if we all do this and everyone else has an awesome fox and I have a random kangaroo. Marina, thank you so much for joining us. That was awesome, and it was great to hang out, and I'd love to see when you get time to make it. Like I say, if you're not on Facebook, I am on, but not very good on Instagram, Pinterest, or my email is in the YouTube channel somewhere. I don't know where, but people have managed to email me from it, so I am such a Luddite to be to be actually creating videos on social media. I don't know how any of this works. There are kangaroo rats, so why not a kangaroo fox? I didn't know there were kangaroo rats. That sounds cool. There's actually, friend didn't believe me when I said this. There's a place up in Loch Lomond. Loch Lomond, actually, it's a big loch in Scotland. I'm sure most people have kind of heard of it, but it has loads of islands on it, and one of the islands has, I'm not sure if it's kangaroos or joeys, but it has, well, we'll say they're kangaroos. It has a little colony of kangaroos living on it, right in the middle of the loch, right in the middle of Scotland. Wendy sent a picture. Let's have a nosy. Let's see where you're at. Dog's licking my feet. Oh, that is so cute. Hang on, I have to not keep that to myself. That is really cute, Wendy. So I think you've got a kind of little foxy rabbit, and I've got a foxy kangaroo. But it's cool. And I know in the time we've got as well, I am rushing things a little bit. Ooh, I'm doing something weird with my Streamlabs. Yeah, in the time we've got, I would normally sit and spend so much longer on these. Oh, and I wanted to say as well, Wendy blended her fox red herself as well. That's not the makers, that's her own blend, and I think that's looking awesome. That's really good colour you got there. Oh, Daniel, my email is in the About tab of my channel. Thank you very much. I made this YouTube channel about 10 years ago, so I don't remember how I set it up or what I did or anything. Wallabies. Is that a question of what are wallabies or... Wendy, I'm not lying to you. That's adorable. See, everyone's saying it's looking good. See? Nobody's lying. It looks cute. At least it doesn't look like a blooming kangaroo or a wallaby or whatever it looks like. Anyway, okay. Time to move on to the next stage. We've all got here, so we'll move on to the next stage. Okay, so we want to add some white underneath, so it looks like we want to do white under the chin and then down the chest onto his tummy. I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. Oh, you don't like the wool? That's a shame. This, I have to say, this stuff from the makers is really nice wool. You can see how well it's felting up actually, with all the lack of care I'm doing. Right, so I'm putting right under his chin here, and I'm going down and out a little bit onto his cheeks. Trying to see what the picture kind of looks like. So it's sort of his underjaw's white. Daniel's got a song about that. I dislike wool. I don't think that's quite how the song goes. Yay! Immediately he suddenly looks a little more foxy. Still a little kangaroo-y, but a little more foxy. Now, I can't remember. Do foxes have a white or a black tip for their tail? I can't. Let me see the picture here. Too many bits of paper. I think they have a white tip for their tail, so I'm going to add a little bit of white for the tail. It looks like a Santa fox. Yeah, I've given him his wee Santa beard. On the island, yeah. I'm not sure whether it's wallabies or kangaroos. I think it might be wallabies because they're not big islands. But yeah, you might be right there. I'll have to look into it again. I've not seen them. Well, I'm sorry I stabbed his beard in, Daniel. I am trying to make a fox, not a Santa, today. We'll make a Santa next time, and you can make it out of, I don't know, chili and man tears. I don't know. Ben's been lying under my feet and he's trying to get up now. There we go. Ben, the dog. I don't have random people lying under my feet. That would be weird. Guys and girls, I think we're not far off actually having a fox. I mean, I'm going to want to spend like 3 hours making it look better, but it looks partially like a fox now. And after this, I think we've just got, we've just got eyes and nose after this. So I'm just going to spend a wee minute smoothing this out and aiming for more foxy. Lily loves my mad stabbing skills. Yeah, it took years of practice, whole loads of blood to get to this stage. But it does, honestly, the more you practice. People used to say, so when I started, I'd hear people talking about like how when you're stabbing and eventually you learn where the wire is and you don't break your needles on the wire and stuff. So yeah, you do get a feel for it eventually, and I'm just really good at not shrieking when I stab myself anymore. I don't think, I've not got my fingers today yet. But thank you guys, I don't think he's looking too bad. There's still something wrong with the ears, but yeah, we can deal with that. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're just having a bit of fun. I did make a fox. I've made a few foxes before. I love making foxes, but this is so much quicker and so much easier. And the last one, I put on every scrap of fur. I put it on separately, blending out different colours and then trimming him down and painting expression on him with acrylic paint and stuff. It took weeks. So to have a fox in, like, how long have we been going for? What time is it? What day is it? About an hour and a half to have a fox. That's pretty good going. Dr. Sten in the house. Hello there, Dr. Sten. How you doing? I heard you lots on the whose live stream was I watching? I was watching in the background and I just kept hearing, and we've got another awesome question for Dr. Sten. You were on form today. Wendy did enough stabbing for us both. Oh, bless. I hope you're okay. And you're on your pad. You shouldn't be stabbing yourself as badly as me. Right, I could probably spend like 2 hours going all over this and making it firmer and probably ruining it. But let's stick the eyes in. So I'm just going to pick a place. Now, if you've got wee glass eyes, which I'm not sure where I've just put mine, if you've got wee eyes, then I'm just going to repeatedly sort of felt in the same place to get a Tube Buddy with Dusty. That was where you were. Yes, I was listening to that. Some really, really good questions you had there. Yeah, so I'm stabbing repeatedly in the same place for where I'm going to put the eyes in. And I think I left the eyes in the box. I did. Yes, I've got the eyes here in the second kit. So I've made 2 kind of tunnels for the eyes. Hopefully they go in okay. And I think these are like 1mm or 2mm size glass eyes, or you could just felt like a single tiny bowl of black. These are so tiny. I'm going to drop them everywhere, and then you just pop in the eyes in. Make sure they fit before you glue them in. Oh, and you'll drop it. Found it again. Oh, this is so fiddly. These eyes are the smallest I've ever worked with, and yet they keep sticking to my fingers and bouncing out again. Right, work this time. They are the tiniest eyes in the entire world. I've never worked with eyes that tiny. Right, shall I be brave? I'm going to try and glue these in. So this is the trusty paper pole, but any glue would work. I bet you I can't get the lid off just now. Right, excuse me, classy. Didn't just do that. Right, so I'm just going to squeeze up, get a bit of glue on the side, dab it onto the eye, and shove it in the little eye hole that I've made. Get glue all over my fingers. Same on the other one. They're such tiny eyes. Rosanni, I know what you mean about studying fox heads. I would usually have like pictures of foxes up and everything and be working from that, but I'm just wanting to go from the tutorial, so it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. But a fantasy fox would look awesome. You really, right, you have to make one. That's you ordered, that's you telt. But yeah, that's his eyeballs in. Yeah, that was tricky, but they're in and it kind of looks cute. I would have probably gone for slightly bigger eyes, but it's cute too. You could also colour that, like put some black fleece around them to give them like eyeliner. I can't remember if foxes have pigment around their eyes or not. Possibly. Lily, thank you. It's getting there. I'm still saying a little bit kangaroo-y. Right, and then the final touch, where did I put the black, is going to be his nose. Yeah, this black's got, I don't know if you can see, it's got all white all mixed up in it a little bit. That's the only, all the rest of the colours are awesome, and they're felting so well. So I'm just taking a wee bit. Alex would drop the eyes into the glue doing it that way. I never even thought that was a risk. I thought of dropping them everywhere else, but not into the glue. So now you've told me it, I'm probably going to do that. But I've never never to date, because I'm holding sort of the eye, I'm holding that between my nails, just dipping it in, so it's kind of held quite well. Right, so the nose onto the nose of the fox. Yeah, Rosanne, it totally helps having the dogs. Oh, Dr. Sten says foxes do have black eyeliner. Awesome. Right, let's do that. Yeah, Rosanne, it totally helps having the dogs. There's been so many times, like, see, to learn how the hocks work and everything. I've got the dogs walking and sitting down for me and turning around going, oh, that's how your leg works. Hi there, Flesh in your pan. Good to see you. You're just joining us in. We are together creating a fox. We've got a few of us here felting away, and a few just here for the chat. A few just here to see if I stab my fingers, I think, really. But yeah, so let's try the black eyeliner, because Dr. Sten says they've got it. So, right, this makes it a little more tricky, but I think it'll be the nice final touch. So you're just going to kind of pinch off a tiny bit of this black and twist it out to make a thread. And 2 for 2 eyes. Right, in my head, I think the eyeliner is kind of going to come down the nose a little bit and then up around the eyes. So that's what I'm going to try and do. It might not be what it's like. Right, I don't know if I can do this and actually show you what I'm doing at the same time without killing myself. So I'll stab in a little bit and then show you a little bit. So immediately I put it in the wrong place. Right, so I'm going down the nose slightly, as you can probably not see. I don't know if the camera can even focus on so little. So slightly down the nose and then wrapping around the eye, making it slightly cat's eye shaped almost. This is probably where I completely ruin the little fox. Yeah, tiny details are not great for me to try and talk as well, but there we go. I think that looks better. I think. Rosanne, exactly, the peanut gallery in the audience. It's great because those of us who are felting cannot talk as much as we might at another time. So it's great to have you guys company, and like Dr. Sten to go off and Google images of foxes so we know what we're doing. I could have actually done it myself. That was just lazy of me there. But it's great to have you guys to talk along as well, because yeah, I run out of the ability to speak and felt at the same time. This is so tiny that what I've done is one is a little bit bigger than the other. Can you see? Can my camera focus? So I'm just going to go in with a tiny bit more on the bigger one. And you know what's going to happen here is I'm going to go a little bit bigger with this and it'll be too big, and I'll go bigger with the other one and it's just going to be a black-faced fox before we're done. But yeah, I just think a little bit of eyeliner will help him a bit. So eyeliner added, and I am pretty much finished. Rosanne, it does. I think eyeliner helps. If the animals have it, it makes such a difference. So I'm just going to go over him and finish up felting a little bit while everyone catches up, and I would totally love it if you guys can share your pictures when you're done with them. Well, we know Wendy and Pat know how to do it, so when you guys catch up, I would love to see where you've got to. But yeah, I think I have to say I am pretty impressed with this kit, because I've mainly felted along pretty much what they've said. I've used their materials. In fact, even this needle actually comes from the makers. I forgot that. I'd ordered that a while ago. So yeah, using their materials. This is a 38 twist and their fibres. We've been able to felt a fox in, well, just over an hour and a half, but it would have been quicker if I wasn't like attempting to talk and show people stuff at the same time. So still has a little bit of the kangaroo look to him, but I hope he's enough that you can tell he's a fox as well. So how's everybody else doing? Are we getting on with our foxes? Hopefully. I think we were all nearly there. But yeah, I'd love to see how you've got on with them. Just gonna check and see if any pictures have come in yet. I did actually stab my finger there. No blood, but I did actually stab my finger. So for everyone that's freaking out and worrying that I was going to stab myself, I think we've got a picture from Wendy. Awesome job, right? There we go. So everyone here is Wendy's fox. I think he is fantastic. He has so much character. It looks quite a brute, like quite a meaty kangaroo rabbit fox. He's awesome. He's a bit of a bruiser fox. It's like great fun. But you did really good there, I think, because it is so difficult to felt along with people. Like I say, I totally can't do it when Seraphina's videos are up, and I immediately, as soon as the video's out, I'm there trying to felt along, and I just can't. So I think you've done an absolutely great job, because that's trying to figure out what I'm talking about, trying to felt along, trying to keep an idea and keep track of what you're doing and chat at the same time. Wendy, you've done an awesome job. Thank you so much for the idea of doing a felt along, doing a stab along with me. That's been really cool, and yeah, I think you've done great. So we're going to have to get the thinking caps on to see what else we can do until I can figure out this Santa tutorial. I think that's going to be fun. But we're going to have to think of some tutorials. But yeah, if anyone else has their foxes to share, and also in the groups, in the event, you can add, if you're felting along in the replay, in the groups, you can add the picture at any time, and we'll all be able to see that there as well. So awesome. Sten, you're totally right. It has so much character. I think it's great, and that's the really fab thing, is we're all using the same kind of things. We're all following the same tutorial, and nobody's just going to look the same. That is the fun of needle felting, I think. Yeah, right. I should probably just stop stabbing at this guy. So there is my little fox. He's like the emaciated brother of Wendy's. Oh, Wendy, not at all. I think the Makers girls are so talented. They're absolutely fab, and things like this. This kit is so much, but like any time I've tried to write a tutorial myself, it's never as clear as this. It's kind of like add on a bit of this until it looks a bit like this. I'm just not as clear, and I am completely nicking their armature idea. I like that quite a bit better than I like my armature, so my armatures are changing from now on. I really like that, and it came out good. And the thing is, it's so much more dainty for doing things like greyhounds and stuff. I think that will be awesome for greyhounds. And I am loving the letting the pipe cleaners poke out the bottom to make the hands and feet. Wendy, you are not chunky, but I know what you mean with the felting. I used to always make everything totally bigger, because I think they've got more character. They really do. But now I get obsessed with like totally felting away at things until they're rock solid. As you can see, I can't stop felting, and this is what I do in all of my videos when I'm doing a tutorial for anything. I'll like film a bit, and then I'll just go away and sit down and felt for like 2 hours when it didn't need it anyway, but I just like to go over it. But right, so how's everybody else done? I think we had a few more felting along. I know there's a few people felting through Facebook, but can't necessarily comment here. But I'll give you a couple of minutes, give you 5 minutes to get your pictures in if you've done them, and let us see them. But if not, this has gone so much better than I thought it had. The dogs haven't kicked off, the neighbours haven't been making noise, I haven't bled to death. I know we've had a few injuries. I hope to call you Wednesday. I hope Wendy is okay and hasn't suffered too much for her rat, but I think your fox came out so great. But yeah, so if you've made a fox, the event Felt Along With Me, the Maker's Fox Kit, is up on Pam Duthie's Felting Friends or Ben McFuzzy Lugs on Facebook. If you want to dive in, leave a picture there. Yeah, but everyone, thanks for joining me. Also in those groups, if you leave ideas, if you have any tutorials that you fancy seeing us make, seeing me butcher. Well, no, I don't think any of us did too bad today. I think everyone's done awesome so far. And I know we've got some more people who'll be felting after the fact. Oh, Christine, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great. You take care. We're just finishing up here anyway. I think that's about as done. Rosanne, yeah, thank you so much. See you later. Okay, guys, I'm gonna call it because I'm roasting and I need to go and open some windows. But thank you so much. This went so much better than I thought. I appreciate the company from everybody, and I will catch you in the next one.